What's up, Homo sapiens? It's me, Sonia. Today I'm going to do an in-depth look on one book. It's going to be a series of sorts in which I talk about one book, an edition of a particular book, and I'm going to discuss it in depth. And in this case, it's going to be Complete Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and this edition is a Barnes and Noble leather-bound edition. It is a beautiful edition. The front cover is leather-bound and letters are embedded in the cover, and there are lots of intricate designs on the cover. Here you can see a man on a carriage and a horse pulling him, and of course here on the right top you have Sherlock Holmes and beautiful lettering, and you have the Big Bang, you have a teapot, you have the Tower Bridge, not the London Bridge, I'm sorry. Then you have more London buildings and beautiful signs and a gun, and of course Sherlock Holmes' famous violin. Now, moving on to the side, and then moving on towards the back. In the back there's lots of designs as well. You have the clock again, you have this bicycle, one of the first bicycle designs really, and you have a couple of swords, SH, Sherlock Holmes, the flag of the United Kingdom, and in the middle we have 221B Baker Street. The designs are gorgeous. There's also a ribbon bookmark. Now it's marking where I'm at. I will show you that in a couple of seconds. When you open the book, you have this plate design, which is also gorgeous, and it fits nicely with the front cover. It looks really nice. And then you just have the title page. Now let's move on to the contents page. First of all, you have the introduction. I don't recommend reading the introduction unless you've seen the Sherlock TV series, all the seasons, or if you've read the books previously, because there's a couple of spoilers in the introduction, and it would be a waste if you got spoilers. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend reading it unless you're familiar with it. You can just read the introduction at the end. But the introduction is really interesting. I've read it, and it also has a cute symbol under the title, which is always nice. Then, going back to the contents page, there's a slightly strange thing about the way the stories have been put into place in this edition. Well, first you have Study a Scarlet, which is the first book, The Sign of the Fall, the second book. And then you have The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes, The Return of Sherlock Holmes, which is the weird thing here. The Return of the Sherlock Holmes was published later than The Hound of the Baskervilles. The Hound of the Baskervilles was first published in 1992. It was published in the Strand, and then only afterwards The Return of the Sherlock Holmes was published in the magazine Strand. So actually, if you want to read it in a chronological order it was published in, you should first read The Hound of the Baskervilles after the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes, and then read The Return of Sherlock Holmes. So this was a slightly strange thing I noticed about this edition. Of course, after The Hound of the Baskervilles, you have The Valley of Fear, which is divided into two parts. And then we have The Last Bow and The Case Book of Sherlock Holmes. And that's basically it. and it's also fairly easy to read. The spine won't break, and you can just read. But the one thing is, it is quite a heavy book. If you like this video, please give it a huge thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. And until next time, respect and love always.